Hey mates, I'm Alex.
And I'm Gaston.
Welcome to Power Mates.
This is a place to learn and share about Fabric and Power Platform. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this channel with your friends and colleagues.
So, hello Power Mate, welcome back to our channel. Today we are diving into the one of the most exciting and advancement in data analytics, AI functions in Microsoft Fabric. We'll explore how these functions can seamlessly enrich your data flows, and we will walk you through a hands-on demo with a generic dataset. Let's get started. But first of all, Gaston, tell me, what are those AI functions and any relationship with the AI skills, perhaps? Or I am totally lost.
Hey Alex, first of all, you are not lost at all. Microsoft Fabric has been a game changer in unifying all the data experience, and with the introduction of AI functions, is taking a monumental leap forward. These functions empowers users to perform tasks like text summarization, translations, sentiment analysis, and more with all kind of minimal code. So imagine to being able to analyze, for example, customer feedback,
Mhm.
detect sentiment, categorize responses, all within your existing data flows. That's the real power of AI functions in Fabric. So for today's demo, we will be using a public data set with all this data from customers, feedback, and responses. We will focus on a lakehouse table which contains all these customer informations, and we are going to be demonstrate how to enrich this data using AI functions. So let's go to my machine and let's dive into the demo. So what we are going to be seeing here, first of all, our usual pane of the Microsoft Fabric workloads. What I'm going to be doing here is, first of all, I just download to my computer a public data set with customer data. After I get that data, just to play a little bit of, learning different artifacts in my Fabric workload, I just set up data flows, and that data flow is loading the data. I can check on that, Alex. I can go to the workspace, and within the workspace, I can go directly to check a little bit on what's going on in that data. So I can
Mhm.
go check on this, go to data flows. I did a little bit of test here in the clean sentiment. What I did here was I upload my CSV file. I play around a little bit with the columns. As you can see, my sentiment analysis all over here.
Mhm.
You can check a little bit what I was doing step by step on the process. So my first step at the right was, hey, this is my CSV file. And this CSV file was a little bit of a messing up, with a not garbage in, garbage out, as I
Hmm.
used to say, but it was not comprehensive. So my first step was, hey, let's do this. Let's change the columns to, split by commas. They I promote the headers. So I take the first row as the header. The next one was I split in columns, by different commas. So I get all the columns of my CSV file. Next step, hey, let's define the right data types for each column. The next one was let's rename the columns to make more sense. Sentiment, result, source, and so on. I add another column as an index column, and then I reorder a little bit all the columns. And finally, what I did was at the bottom, I define the destination. So I create a new table in my lakehouse that is going to be the sentiment analysis. So I create a table in my lakehouse. That's kind of a pre build of what I did, downloading the CSV file and then shaping my data out. The next step, and we are going into the AI functions just as the next step, I create a new notebook, and this is the notebook. The notebook is connecting to the lake house, of course. I call the lake house Adventure Works Lake House. We have all the tables, and we can check my table here. That is the sentiment table. That is the one that I load via data flows. I have my files here. You can check that I download this public CSV file. That was the one that I use in the data flows to load the data, to transform the data, and then loading the data into this table. And last but not least, what I'm doing is I create this notebook, and the experience in the notebook to use AI functions. First of all, I need to install this library. You can check that the libraries, they are really related to OpenAI. So
Mhm.
I am running this command to install all the libraries that I need to leverage AI functions. That is the first step. The next step, and this is just a quick example to check what I'm doing here. That is, hey, I'm loading the table from the lake house. This is the name of the lake house, and then the name of the table.
Mhm.
So you can check here that I'm loading this table into a data frame in Spark, and then I'm displaying the columns out of my data frame. So this is just to check that I have the right data, or I'm working with the right data in my lakehouse table. And this is just to check all the rows that I have in my
Mhm.
table. The next one is I'm going to be getting some of the libraries that I need to run AI functions. And these are the libraries, as you can check here. I'm working with ML Spark AI functions library. And then I have the name of my model here,
Mhm.
that is a GPT
3.5.
3.5. So that is the requirement to run your AI functions. Then I have a little bit of some samples that I can run to do some analysis over my data. For example, the first one, I am loading the data frame Spark, and I'm gonna read again my AdventureWorks sentiment table. If I run this, let me remove the comments, and I'm going to run a sentiment analysis. You can check here that I am creating a sentiment data frame. I am running an AI analyze sentiment. This is by default. So I can just remove this command, and you can check that I can run AI, and then under AI, you have multiple functions that you can run. In this case, analyze sentiment. The input column in my case is sentiment, and the output column is the AI function sentiment. So the sentiment column, you can check here, that is the feedback from the client. So the sentiment column is the feedback that the client provide around the experience that they have around the product that they're leveraging. And then as an output column, I am creating an AI function sentiment. When I run this and then I display the result, when we execute this cell, the cell is loading the Spark, that is our table of sentiment. Then what we are doing here is loading the data frame in Spark and running an analyze sentiment. And we are sending the input column, that is our sentiment column from our table, with all the feedback from the client. And as an output column, we are defining the AI
Mhm.
function sentiment. So let's check that column. And in that column, AI function sentiment, we can see
Mhm.
positive, negative based on this column here. So when the client is saying, I love this product, that is positive. The service was terrible, of course, negative. The movie is amazing, positive. I'm so disappointed with their customer support, is negative, of course. So we can compare side by side all the feedback from the client with the AI function sentiment. That is just one example of the AI functions, but let's see the next one. If I go and comment this one, and we are going to uh, stop the comment on this one, you can run corrections. And again, I am going to define sentiment as the input column and corrections as the output column, and I'm leveraging this fixed grammar. So when I run this command again, what it's going to be trying to do is getting the sentiment column from the feedback from the client, and then it's trying to correct the grammar in top of that column. So if I have any mistakes, or I let's say that I'm translate an audio and convert to text, and the text is not quite with the right grammar, you can check the grammar and correct the grammar from that column and get that as an output. That is kind of the example that we are running right now with this new AI function. So let's see the result, and based on the result, you can, keep the analysis and keep that going. In the corrections, you can see that we have another column that is corrections now, and is trying to correct every single line
Nice.
on the grammar that we have. So if you want to correct the grammar of any kind of summary, you can do that. The last example that I have here is, let's put again some of this, and let's test the translation command. So we are going to be doing the same. We're going to get the input column, that is the feedback from the client, the sentiment column, and we are going to create another column as an output that is going to be the translation. And you can check here that you can define
Mhm.
that you are translating, in this case, to Spanish, the feedback from the client. When I run this command, what it's going to be doing is getting all that column of sentiment with the feedback, and is going to translate all the feedback from the customer survey from that client line by line, and translate from English to Spanish. And let's see how good it go in terms of the translation of this column. So pretty much, it's really interesting what you can do with all these AI functions. And we invite to check this video, and we are going to be sharing with all of you, Power Maze, the AI functions documentation, because I am checking just 3 AI functions. You have a lot more to start playing around with this new feature. You can check here the sentiment that we have, and then we have all the translation. I love this product. Me encanta este producto. The service was terrible. El servicio fue terrible. The idea here is how you can translate from English to any other language, and you can check all the lines are translating
Mhm.
from English to Spanish. And check on this, Alex, was minimal the code that I got for this app running.
Yeah, and I can see a lot of different scenarios when you kind of start using this kind of libraries and apply AI to different scenarios, and what you need to from forms data, you need to move around, you need to translate, and you are trying to train another model of something. Yeah, I can see that this is going to be super useful and nice. So, and also, as you can see, we have successfully analyzed the sentiment of a customer comment, providing valuable insight into customer satisfaction level. So this is powerful capability allowed businesses to proactively address issues and improve customer experience on some point.
These AI functions in Microsoft Fabric open a whole new world of possibilities for data professionals, enabling kind of sophisticated data transformation and enrichments with this. So whether you are performing sentiment analysis, or text summarization, or language translation, these functions really integrate seamlessly into your workflows. I encourage to all of you, Power Mates, to explore these features and see how they can enhance your data products. And for more information, remember, check out the official Microsoft documentation that's going to be on the description of this video, link to that description.
Thank you for joining us today. And if you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more insight, and as usual, hit that bell icon to stay updated on the latest comments. So until next time, keep innovating, Power Mates.
Together, let's unlock the full potential of Power Platform and Microsoft Fabric.
See ya.